This is Peter Parsons, your town supervisor. First, I want to wish you all the best in the new year. Let's make 2013 the best year we've ever had. But what I really want to do a little is to look back on my first year as supervisor. We've got some achievements. First, we've added 2 full-time policemen who will begin their duties at the beginning of February 2013. One of them will be a patrol officer. His major contribution will be to bring continuity to the handling of cases in our town. We need a core of continuity in order to ensure follow-through. When a case comes up, we need to follow it through to the end. We've got an outstanding guy doing it, David Alfano. He graduated from the police academy as the best all-round cadet. We should be proud of him. Secondly, we've added a youth officer who will work at the schools. Andrew Llewellyn is a guy who's got a record of first-class service to the town and is exactly the right kind of family man we want working in our schools. Outside of the police, this town has long been under a Department of Justice consent order to bring ourselves in line with the Americans with Disabilities Act. We've essentially completed this process. In April, we moved our court, our building department, our assessor's office, our planning department, all into these premises in Cross River, making that part of our town consistent with the law and meeting its requirements. As I speak, plumbers are working at the townhouse to ensure that we have got an ADA usable bathroom on the ground floor. If somebody wants to see me for whom the stairs are a difficulty, or if somebody wants to consult on benefits for whom the stairs are a difficulty, we can simply come downstairs, meet you in a meeting room downstairs where you can be completely private and you can conduct your business in a proper way. The third thing is we are going to move the police station right next to the court. There is a certain logic in having the court and the police station adjoining. It means that when people have to be brought into court, they can be held in the police station, if necessary, without mingling with people who are here to answer relatively normal traffic misdemeanors. I'm going to show you this building later on. It's a first-class facility, and everything should work together here. We've made a little progress on roads this year. We've used state money to finish the paving of Chapel, and we've used state money to pave Wakeman Road in Vista. The preserves. When I ran, I promised you that I would try my best to get the preserves cleaned up. And we've made significant strides. Leon Levy, the litter, and I'm not talking about the odd piece of paper, but the stray boat in the middle of the Leon Levy Preserve, the televisions, the old refrigerators and other appliances, a certain amount of building debris has all been collected and taken away. The old field preserve in Walkabuck it will be mowed this winter. It's important that the fields in that preserve are mowed, which they haven't been, as far as I know, for at least 5 years, because otherwise their function in providing habitat for a whole range of birds will disappear. They need to be mowed in the winter when no birds are nesting and no critters are giving birth, and so we can have in the spring a suitable environment, and the environment that was envisioned when the preserve was set up. The library. The town has not had much to do with this, but it has got out of the way of library expansion, allowing the library to now have all the permits and agreements it needs in order to begin building this spring. I think the whole community will benefit from an improved library space. Obviously, this is something near to my heart. It's something I worked on for many years as a member of the library board, and I'm really pleased to see it begin to take shape. A critical part of compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act was moving the police station. I want to show you the new quarters. They're not finished. They're not going to look at all finished to you. But in fact, we will have the police force operating in there early in January. And may well be operating by the time you see this. And that's quite important. We've got an aging population, and it means that all of you will be able to come in and visit the police chief in comfort and without having to clamber those terrible stairs at the old police station. Let's go and take a look. So here we are coming into the new police station. You will come in through the same door as I just came in, and right here there will be a desk, and you will be able to talk and discuss your business with the police officer on duty. Moving backwards, moving back into the building, they will have another office here for records and fingerprinting and things of that kind. So let's move back into our police chief's new office, which will be right back here. And when you've got business directly with him, you will conduct it here. He has got his own means of egress to the court. And then finally, back here will be the state trooper's office with his own egress to the court. So that's our new building. I think it will increase the professionalism and efficiency with which our police department works. Finally, let me talk about cell towers. The importance of cell towers is being stressed to us during events like Sandy, during Irene in 2011, during the snowstorm in 2011. We've had a series of times in this town when we were very reliant on our cell phones. The cell tower in the town park is now up. I'm sure you can see it, and I'm sure I will get comments about it. But the truth is, the town needs it. And it needs it to be tall, because if it isn't tall in this hilly town, it won't be much use to us. So that should begin to function very early in the new year, and that will bring a whole area of the town, or provide service, good cell service, to a whole new area of the town. The proposed cell tower on 138 has now passed all the town planning and regulatory hurdles, and I anticipate that being built during 2013 and being fully functional by the end of 2013. That will bring yet another part of the town, significant part of the town, into adequate service. Will the town be perfect then? No. Will there be areas where you can't use cell phones? Yes. But quite honestly, the physical geography of this town makes it unlikely that until technology makes a significant advance, we just will not have perfect cell coverage throughout the town. Hopefully, there will be advances in cell coverage and in cell towers and cell transmission systems, and eventually there will be a way to provide coverage throughout the town. Perhaps most important, I'd like to thank all the members of the town staff for making my first year truly enjoyable and fun. They're a great group of people to work with. They work very hard for your town. During the budget process, many of them feel an enormous amount of stress and quite honestly come in for a lot of criticism, as if they didn't do anything. I promise you, they do work hard for you. And we should all be grateful to a first-class group of people who work for us in the town and should be adequately rewarded for what they do. Beyond that, the town is really lucky to have a group of volunteers who work really hard for it. At the risk of ignoring 200 or so volunteers, I am going to single out 3 who provided particular leadership in 2012. The first and most obvious is Adam Oakes, the Vista Fire Commissioner, who is also the head of the town's emergency board. The performance he put in during Sandy was outstanding. He worked 24-hour days, day in, day out, day in, day out, from the beginning of the emergency to the end. He was at my side. He was there to advise me, help me, and be my eyes and ears on the road when I didn't know quite what was happening in one part of town. Second, Paul Lewis. One of the big achievements of last year was to bring ourselves in compliance with the stormwater management regulations of the state. This may sound a little boring, but if we hadn't done it, we'd be in real trouble. And in fact, stormwater is important. It is important that as we go south from here, the water systems function well. Paul has walked huge chunks of this town, mapping all the stormwater outlets, all the drains, and putting them into a GIS system which will ensure that they can be adequately maintained. This is a huge contribution for which he does not receive one nickel, and has taken days and days upon days of his time. Thirdly, I want to mention Greg Monteleone. He has brought new energy to the Preserves Committee, and it really needed it. And I think we're going to see this not just in 2012, but in the upcoming year. You're going to see all the people who visit the preserves are going to see the benefits of his work. So thank you for allowing me to work with such a fine group of employees and such a magnificent group of volunteers. Happy New Year. Thank you.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.